Hi, I'm Brian Barton with Prophecy Views. I want to talk to you today about the importance of America's historical standard, our historical values. We have subdivisions of $1,000,000+ homes. We go to the store and can get on demand anything in that store that we have the money for or the credit for. Most of our households have a car for every licensed driver in the home. How many TVs do you have in your house? How many clothes do you have? Do you have decent furniture in your house? How often do we go out to eat or go buy a Starbucks coffee? We have these things because of the type of system our country has and the foundation that our forefathers laid in place for us. And I would argue that most other countries have a good amount of the things that they have because of the economy of the United States and our tourism and how and where we choose to spend our money, because we have an excess. And because of that excess, we are able to bless the rest of the world. What would happen if we take that away because of a vocal minority in this country? What would we lose? What would you lose? What would the rest of the world lose? You know, we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our families. We owe it to our neighbors and our fellow citizens to say no more to these people, to the media that amplifies their distorted views, to their demands that we tear down our history and rewrite our nation's past. We are the majority. They will never broadcast that truth, but we are the vast majority. Larger than they will ever tell you. Because the media and the left are terrified of us realizing that and banding together. Saying, no more CNN in my face. If it's on at the airports or at a restaurant, we demand that they change the channel. No more MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post. We have to stop allowing a place in society for them. We have to stop accepting them as mainstream. Put them on the fringe media where they belong. Not by physical force or brutality. But if we start being firm in our stance and backing each other up if we hear someone else being firm in the demand of shutting these media outlets off in public places. And I'm going to stop right here for just a minute because I want you to understand the only ratings that CNN and these other outlets are getting anymore are from the so far fringe left, which is a very minor part of the population. But because they are on in airports and in restaurants and in places that we go out in public. Well, we can't control what's in people's homes, but we can control what's out in public. And if nothing else, have them turn on an HGTV or something that is not political. We have to stop allowing a place in our society for them. We will accomplish so much toward our goal of restoring our principles, our morals, and our children will have no question about where their parents stand on issues. But it takes getting involved. We need to take back our education system. Our colleges and universities. Stop turning our heads and turning a deaf ear and shrugging our shoulders when our children want to go to colleges that teach how awful this country is. And we need to stop it in our grade schools and our high schools. We need to demand our school boards hire and retain teachers that value the American way of life. I would dare say that getting involved in our school board meetings is more important at this point in our history than being a part of the PTA. This is that important. Make no mistake about it. We are at a precipice, a turning point in our country. The actions we take now, and I do mean now, will decide if this situation either turns to A, real violence, as in another civil war, or B, us giving in to the liberals' loud voice demands and let them have their way, and the entire world suffers for an unseen number of generations from our lack of backbone right now. Or we can stand up and not be afraid to take action now. And we won't have to tell our children how we failed to stop this onslaught of ridiculous ideals at a time when it would be easy enough to do. If we fail to do it now, it will take a revolution that will only take place generations from now, after we put our children and our grandchildren through unbelievable oppression, enslavement, and in some cases even death. All because we didn't want to seem awkward by saying no. No to them blasting us with their media, and no to their brainwashing of our children. Let us stand up together and demand that they turn off their bullhorn media, that our schools hire only teachers that will teach our children the truth about our history, and what a privilege it is to live in this great country. The world will be better off for it, our country will be better off for it, and our families will be better off for it. Thank you. God bless.